So you had a front row seat to Coach LaFleur figuring things out with the Hall of Fame caliber quarterback and Nate in his ear. What can you take from that you can help offer Nate to maybe streamline things or make him a little more efficient?
Yeah, it's unique experience with a guy that's played a lot of football, and just having that chemistry. It's going to have to be created each and every day. It's like you're still learning each other. You're still learning the mechanics of everything and how he thinks, and going through the progression of it. So it's something that we're going to work through, and there's constant communication. It's improved drastically. Starting yesterday, I thought the meetings were great. I thought the walkthroughs were great. There's a lot more urgency. Just getting on the same page is what we're trying to gear towards. Yeah, I'm hoping a shoelace breaks a few times in that game, or he has to come out a few times. But he's a game wrecker, and you got to account for him. You got to know where he is. They do a great job of flipping him around, especially in situational football. But you got to be mindful of where he is, and it's not just him. I mean, you got a great linebacking crew led by 54. He's athletic. He's really good job in space. And, this is going to be a great challenge for us.
Do you spend any time talking to DJ Jones and K1 Williams a little bit about their attack or their approach or whatever, personnel?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it's simplistic because they play fast. And they're going to have their variations each and every week, and it allows them to play fast, very similar to last week's defensive line. So, they'll give us information, but you can take it or leave it. You're not really thinking about that through the plan. You're just kind of going off the video you see.
I know the points aren't there yet, but your top 10 in total yards, top 10 passing yards, top 10 rushing yards, how encouraging is that looking forward?
It's really fun to see that stuff come alive in those situations in midfield, and just we got to build off of that. We got to be better in those situations that we all know, and it's very encouraging to see those guys. The hard work that they paid off, it's paying off. All the work they did in the offseason as far as the study and the technique that we're asking them to do, they really bought into it. It's coming alive, and I'm excited where it's going to go.
When you look at the first couple of weeks, kind of what sticks with you more, the success that you are having in terms of moving the ball or the frustration at those near misses in the red zone?
Yeah, I think we got to think more positively in these situations. You got to go off of what you've been good at, and you pride yourself off of. And we came in saying we were going to run the ball. We're going to be great in those play passes and the keepers. And, the frustrations, you can sit there and just think about them all the time. But you're not moving forward. You're not getting better. You're not thinking about the things that you can expand on. So I'm really proud of these guys and just how they've been fighting and just being resilient throughout this whole process.
Courtland was saying to be an elite guy in this league, you've got to be the guy that steps up on third down or fourth down and makes that catch. But what can you say about the job he did last week in those critical moments?
Yeah, he's a guy that we're going to lean on, and there's going to be teams that try to take things away from him. You're going to have options on the other side and other outlets for him, but he's a competitor. His penalty on the sideline that he regrets big time, but you can see the competitor nature. Every time he catches an explosive pass, he's getting up, he's competing. You can't coach that. That's something that is drilled into you. That's something that's ingrained in you, and it just continues. So that's a guy in that room that's a big leader, and we're leaning on at the skill position.
As a coach, how do you balance that, though? Wanting to go 100% but not go over the top where it turns into a penalty.
You got to pull him back and show him the things that could occur when you go outside the realm, and the things that could hurt the team, and just working on situations where you get excited. If you want to go scream in the middle of the field. You know what I mean? Stay away from the other guys and the opponents, because you never know. So a ref looks over and he sees something, he can throw a flag. So just, celebrate with your teammates and encourage that.
What can coaching do to kind of help prevent some of the false starts that you've had the last couple of weeks?
Throughout the week of practice, more cadence variation. Just working that throughout the week, not only in practice but in walkthroughs, and just getting them used to it and hearing it, and just understanding your assignment is awesome. You got to know it, you got to execute it, but it comes down to the cadence first. So you got to really remind yourself, remind your buddy, just make sure you're on the same page.
What do you think of the crowd doing the countdown stuff on the play clock?
I love how passionate our fans are. I really do. That tells you right there that they're helping in a situation. You can take it sarcastic or whatever it may be, but just to show the passion and how much they love this game and how much they love the Broncos, that's very encouraging, and we're going to make them proud.
Would you like them to keep helping?
hopefully we won't have that issue, but if it comes up, might as well. You know what I mean?
Coach, how mindful, if at all, are you of the running back snap count to make sure Melvin stays as involved as I think he'd like to be?
There's always a pitch count, as far as not a pitch count, but just keeping reps and count. And Coach Wheatley does a good job of just making sure we know how many times a guy has a ball in his hands or how many receptions he might have. We keep track of that throughout the week and in game. So we're just trying to put those guys in great spots and keep them healthy.
Coach Outten, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Guys.
Thanks, Coach.